tired, so tired for walking. And but I'm so alone. Lord, the dark is creeping in, it's creeping up, swallow me. I think I'll stop, rest here for a while. This is all that I can say right now. And this is all that I can give. And this is all that I can say right now. And this is all that I can give. That's my everything. Oh, then you see me crying. Oh, and then you hear me call your name. Was I you I gave my heart to? Where should I now go where you set it down? And this is all that I can say right now. I know it's not much, but this is all that I can give. Yeah, that's my everything. This is all that I can say right now, right now. No, it's not much, but this is all that I can give. Yeah, that's my everything. Didn't know that you were standing there. Didn't know that you hold me. I didn't know that you were crying too. I didn't know that you were washing my feet. And this is all that I can say right now. Oh, I know it's not much, but this is all that I can give. Yeah, that's my everything. This is all that I can say right now. And I know it's not much, but this is all that I can give. Yeah, that's my everything. This is all that I can say right now. Oh, I know it's not much, but this is all that I can give. Yeah, that's my everything. Yeah, that's my everything. Yeah, that's my everything. Everything.
That's kind of what's happening to our society today. The fabric of it is being ripped apart. It's being ripped apart racially. It's being ripped apart domestically. It's being ripped apart socio-economically. It's being ripped apart politically. It is very fair to say that as we look upon the landscape of the land in which we live, that the fabric of our society is frayed and being ripped apart. and we rightfully ask the question, what can be done to put our society back together? To end the animosity, to end the suspicion and the mistrust, to end the hatred and the division, that we might be able to be a society that is one that is happy, secure, and healthy. Where will the real answers come from that can help to ravel what is unraveled in our culture, that can help to put back together what has been ripped apart? To answer this question, God has raised up a prophet. A prophet who spoke with incredible boldness, incredible clarity, right directly to the heart of the matter, of what can put this society back together again. And that prophet is this man, Mr. Rogers. That's it. He was the prophet. And and there's the deal. Won't you be my neighbor? Right? I mean, come on, how many of you ever watched at least one Mr. Rogers episode? Yeah. And he always comes in, right, to the little living room, and he puts the sweater on, and he takes off his shoes and puts the slippers on, and he sings a song. Won't you be, please won't you be my neighbor? Because in essence, what Mr. Rogers understood was simply this. That if society is going to be healthy, if it's going to be secure, if it's going to be peaceful, if it's going to work right, we've got to be neighborly with each other. And Mr. Rogers understood that being neighborly meant love your neighbor as yourself. See, before Mr. Rogers got the TV gig, he went to seminary. And he was studying to go into ministry. And he was truly gripped by this notion that we need to love our neighbor as ourselves. Hence, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. And won't you be my neighbor? See, he understood the words of Jesus when Jesus said that basically, if you can sum up all the laws of God, all the commands of God, all the principles of God, all the directions of God, it boils down to two things. Love God and love your neighbor as yourself. Love for God is the indispensable core of a healthy spiritual life. Without a love for God, a spiritual life will die. And love for neighbor is the indispensable core of a healthy social life. And without a love for neighbor, society will unravel. And it will be ripped apart. Could you imagine a land? Could you imagine a society? Could you imagine a place on the globe where all the citizens of that community, of that country, actually loved each other the way they loved themselves? Wouldn't that be an awesome place to live? And if there is going to be a healing, a uniting of our society where we live, it will not come from Washington, D.C. It will not come from Lansing. It will not come from the educational centers of our country. It will come from people deciding they will love their neighbor as themselves. They will commit acts of kindness on people in their world. And those acts of kindness done indiscriminately and unconditionally will lower barriers, erase walls, get rid of mistrust and suspicion, and breed goodwill.